When do you start paying UK taxes as a non-resident business owner? Now, I know what you're thinking. Taxes? Boring. But stick with me. This stuff is super important if you want to build a successful international business without getting into issues with the UK government. Let me tell you a story about my friend, Tom. Tom's a web designer from Canada who's been living his best digital nomad life for the past few years. He's been hopping from beach to beach, laptop in hand, living the dream. But recently, he landed a big client in the UK, and suddenly, he's wondering if he needs to worry about UK taxes. Sound familiar? Well, Tom's story is probably a lot like yours. And that's why we're here today, to figure this stuff out together. So let's start at the beginning. When do you actually become a UK taxpayer if you're not living in the UK? It's not as simple as you might think. The UK has this thing called the statutory residence test. It's like a weird game of tax Tetris, where they look at how much time you spend in the UK, whether you have a home there, and if you have any family or work connections to the country. For most of you digital nomads out there, you're probably going to fall into the non-resident category. That means you only pay UK taxes on money you make from UK sources. Sounds simple, right? Well, here's where it gets tricky. What exactly counts as UK income? Let's go back to our friend, Tom. He's sitting on a beach in Thailand, designing a website for a company in London. Is that UK income? In Tom's case, probably not. If he's just providing services to a UK client from his laptop abroad, that income isn't necessarily considered UK sourced. He'd likely report that income and pay taxes wherever he's considered a tax resident. But what if Tom decides to level up his business? Maybe he's loving his UK clients and thinks, hey, why don't I set up a proper UK company to really establish my presence in the market? Now we're entering UK tax territory, folks. When you set up a UK limited company, even if you're sipping coconuts on a beach halfway across the world, that company is considered a UK resident for tax purposes. It's like your business is wearing a Union Jack t-shirt. It's officially British in the eyes of the tax office. This means a few things. Your company will need to pay UK corporation tax on its profits. If you breach the £85,000 threshold, then you will need to register for VAT. If you pay yourself a salary from the company, that's considered UK income, and you'll need to pay UK income tax on it. And if your company pays you dividends, yep, that's also UK income. Now, I can almost hear some of you shouting at your screens. But wait, I'm not even in the UK. How is this fair? I get it. It can feel a bit unfair. But remember, by setting up a UK company, you're getting the benefits of the UK business environment. And with those benefits come some responsibilities, like paying taxes. So when do you actually need to start paying these taxes? For your company, the clock starts ticking as soon as you set it up. You'll need to register for corporation tax pretty quickly, and you'll need to file your first tax return within 12 months of your company's first financial year end. But what about you, personally? When do you need to start worrying about UK taxes as a non-resident director? Well, you'll need to start thinking about UK taxes as soon as you start getting money from your UK company, whether that's a salary, dividends, or any other kind of income. Now, here's where a lot of people get tripped up. The UK tax year runs from April 6th to April 5th the following year. I know, it's weird. But that's just how they roll in the UK. You'll need to file a UK tax return by January 31st, following the end of the tax year. So, if you started getting UK income in the tax year that runs from April 6th, 2023 to April 5th, 2024, you'd need to file your first tax return by January 31st, 2025. I know what you're thinking. This sounds complicated. And you're right, it can be. That's why I always recommend getting help from a professional lawyer or tax accountant. Trust me, trying to figure this stuff out on your own can lead to some expensive mistakes. Remember our friend Tom? He tried to handle his UK taxes on his own at first. Let's just say it didn't go well. He ended up spending more time wrestling with tax forms than actually designing websites. Not exactly the digital nomad lifestyle he was going for. But here's the good news. Tom finally bit the bullet and hired a UK accountant who specializes in helping non-resident business owners. And suddenly, all those confusing forms and calculations were taken care of. His accountant even helped him save money by making sure he was claiming all the right expenses and structuring his pay in the most tax-efficient way. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't hiring an accountant expensive? And yes, it's an investment. But think about it this way. What's more expensive? Paying for an expert who can help you navigate the complex world of UK taxation? Or making a mistake on your tax return and ending up with a big fine from the tax office? Plus, a good accountant doesn't just save you money on taxes. They save you time and stress, too. And let's be real, isn't that worth its weight in gold when you're trying to run a business? There's one more thing we need to talk about: international tax agreements. These are like peace treaties between countries to make sure you're not unfairly taxed twice on the same income. The UK has these agreements with lots of countries. They set out rules for which country gets to tax different types of income. This is another area where having a good accountant is super helpful. They can make sure you're paying tax in all countries. So, where did Tom end up in all of this? Well, I'm happy to say that with the help of his UK accountant, he's now running a successful international business. His UK company is doing great. He's on top of all his tax stuff, and he's even been able to take on more clients in other countries. But more importantly, he's back to enjoying his digital nomad lifestyle. He's not losing sleep over UK taxes anymore. He knows he's in good hands and can focus on what he does best: designing awesome websites and exploring the world. And that's what I want for all of you. Running an international business is challenging enough without having to worry about getting on the wrong side of the tax office. So, here's what I want you to remember. If you're setting up a UK company as a non-resident, you will have UK tax obligations. Don't ignore them and hope the tax office won't notice you. You'll need to start paying attention to UK taxes as soon as you start getting money from your UK company. And most importantly, don't try to handle this stuff on your own. Get help from a professional who knows what they're doing. Now, I've got some exciting news for those of you who are ready to take the plunge and set up a UK company. Our friends at First Formation Company have an amazing offer for you. They'll help you register your company for free. You just pay the state filing fees. It's a fantastic way to get started without breaking the bank. This means you can focus on growing and scaling your business instead of worrying about paperwork. The link to their website is in the description below, so make sure to check it out. And that's it for today, folks. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And hey, if you have any questions about UK taxes or running an international business, drop them in the comments below. I read every single one and use them to plan future videos. Until next time, keep dreaming big and building those international empires. See you in the next video.